Anywho, yeah, no, bro.
You were what?
I got on the scale today, so I'm on my journey. My goal by May is to be 190. I'm trying to now that I'm kind of basically 100%. I'm trying to give as much effort into myself to cut back down the weight again. So right now I'm on 2 meals a day. I only eat between noon and 8 o'clock. Sometimes less. I'm on a fasting plan, and I've been drinking a gallon of water a day. Stepped on the scale a month. I stepped on the scale on Monday. I was 232. Dang. It's just, but I was all right. That's my start weight. I know where I'm at. Today, I weighed myself yesterday. I was 229. I was all right, cool. All right, I cut a little bit of weight. Now, most of these is probably all water weight and stuff. But then I stepped on the scale today after coming back from the gym. I was 226. I was like, dang, bro, I just dropped almost 8 pounds in 3 days. My regimen is not super crazy, but it might be crazy to other people. But I think the 20 to 25 minutes of cardio after 45 minutes of lifting is the game changer. And then hitting the sauna for 10 to 15 minutes right after the cardio. And then today I did an hour. I did an hour of cardio and elliptical, and then I did a circuit. I did dips, push-ups, abs, and bicep curls, and I did 3 rounds of that. And then I went and got in the sauna for 20 minutes. But the reason why, as we're talking about effort, man, the amount of effort I had to learn about myself that I have to put into myself to lose weight is, it's not necessarily crazy, but I understand it and it's humbling. And I have to respect that process, that I know my body enough that I know exactly what I need to do to cut weight and lose the weight. And when people give me pushback on why you in the gym so much and all this, that's because that's the effort I need for my body to lose weight. And some people don't even know that for themselves. Oh, I'm trying to cut weight, but they've been stuck or whatever for so long, but they don't know the max amount of effort they need to put into themselves to actually cut the weight. And that's not just putting the time into the gym. It's also your eating habits and everything else. It's not easy. I'm not saying I want to wake up every day, go to the gym for 2 hours, and I want to lay in my bed and chill just the next man. But at the end of the day, I know what I really want out of life. And sleeping and staying in my bed isn't going to do anything for me. But yeah, I'm still surprised. I honestly think, though, most of it's probably just water weight. Usually your first 10 pounds is water weight. So, but we'll see what happens. I did tell myself I did at least by my birthday cut, at least try and cut 10 pounds by then and then have a slow process. But we'll see what happens. I was surprised when I got on the scales. I'm 226. I was like, it's freaking Wednesday. I just weighed myself on Monday. So maybe there's probably a little bit of fat loss in there too. I'm not going to say it's not, but some people don't know how much effort it actually takes to cut the weight. And I'm not taking anything. I'm not taking this. I don't feel like taking any multivitamins. I'm just going to drink water and eat food and obviously in regimen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. And then I'm also making sure I'm getting my steps in. Yesterday I hit 17,000 steps. Yeah. So I'm also making sure I'm getting my steps in. So those little things help. And surprisingly, I'm not waking up with freaking bags underneath my eyes. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm loving this process and you got to respect it. But yes, the effort that I've learned that I've had to put into myself to actually cut and lose weight. I guess in somebody else's lives, it's a lot, but for me, it's normal. This is what I have to do. So, and some people don't understand that process. You know what I mean? And they want that.
That's the
Yeah.
best thing, right? The process is hard. It's just getting started and consistent. Because the older we get, right, we got to put more effort into it.
Facts.
Just realizing that we can't, oh yeah, I can sit there, take this many shots, drink this many beers, and still be a $120 by the end of the weekend. It's not the same. It's not the same. I could eat 40 cheeseburgers, 30 hot dogs, and a barrel of fries. I'm good. Bro, I told you, and I talk about it on just about every episode now, that, man, I fall wrong. I'm down. I'm down for a few days. I'm
Dog.
I get back into the gym, and which that's what I've been doing, is getting back into the gym real heavy. Been starting off real light and doing more reps and doing the cardio. You said hit the weights, or I hit the cardio first, get the warm up in, hit the weights, keep it pushing. Now I just got to work on my eating. That's the hard
That's
part.
and that's literally it. And dude, that's as an adult when you get used to eating certain things, so that's your comfort, right? You're like, man, those freaking carne asada fries, man. After a long day,
Tacos always get me no matter what. Tacos
yeah,
always.
and it's you in your head. You're like, I only need 3 or 4, but then you end up smash 10 or 15 other things easily because they're so small. And you're like, man, what happened?
You talking about real tacos?
Yeah, real talk, the real tacos. Yeah, real tacos. So it's
real
oh, go ahead.
tacos. I am Regie the Tech, Will the Creator.
Yeah,
Guppy Skills Podcast. Blah, blah, blah. Let's try it again. I am Regie the Tech. This is
I'm gonna keep
the
that.
Creative. This is Guppy Skills Podcast. Welcome back.
Welcome everybody.
And we're going to keep pushing.
Yeah, let's.
Real all day.
Yeah, nah, dude. I understand, and it's also entails with everything else in life. You're only going to give as much effort as you want, and I think even for me right now, I'm really all my effort for anything is either going towards me or my family, and understanding that what I mean by that is I'm on the back end of my Navy career. This is my last year in the Navy, so I don't have as much effort as I did in the beginning and middle stages of my Navy career as I do now that I'm about to retire. I don't. It's not there, and I don't. And despite the realest thing that somebody just told me as of recently, a couple months ago, this Marine that I met that got out, he said, nobody is coming with you when you leave, whether you retire. I said, so it doesn't even matter. He's like, how many years you got left? I was like, at this point, I had 2 years left. He's like, it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to retire.
Yeah.
And all that it opened up a blockade in my head. I was like, dude, it doesn't matter. And you know what's crazy is he still haven't got our evals yet.
Right.
That's seven.
Let's decipher what you mean. My homegirl just told me the same thing. Yeah, she was telling me about that, how they still ain't got their evals. And I'm like, the test next week. She's like, I know. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about effort and career-wise, right? Coming into this, not knowing what the Navy was, the things that most of us, depending on what your age is, right? Age range is coming straight out of high school, coming in at the middle part of your life, which I met a lot of people, they were at the middle part of their life because I was one of those people who I came out of college, a year out of college. So basically I just came out of high school still because I was still in my teen era. I was 18, 19.
Yeah.
But then you meet people at a stage of their life where it's not the end of their life, but they've done a lot of things. They're in the later stage of their life. They're mid to late 30s.
The late journal. Yeah.
Yeah, they've lived life. So they come in already ahead of the game. The ones with the midlife and the ones with that's been there. And then you got people who come in with no plan, nothing, little bit of goals, just trying to head off the street.
Heads still up our butts.
Don't understand about it. All it does is take a little bit of effort into getting to know your job.
That is true.
That will literally take you all the way up until now, until your 20-year mark. The effort of just showing up every day and doing what you're supposed to, that's it. If you want to just do the bare minimum, that's just doing your job. That's just taking the effort to do your job and learn your job. Everything else, cool, it'll fall in line. Now, if you want to do more, but understand this, you have to know your job. You have to put in effort of learning your job. You have to do the little things that is required of you to do your job. Then, and only then, once you learn your job, go do the other things.
So I agree with you on that. I'm also going to say this based off my opinion. I think also when you first come in, you don't know what effort looks because you're also still trying to figure out your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're not always you don't always your brain's still developing too when you're young, right? And you're growing and learning. So you're instantly more attracted to the immature things to do still by still wanting to actually just learn your job. You're willing to do your job, but your brain's not willing to learn your job to make you better. Because when you're still in that mental stage of, I'm still trying to figure myself out what I'm going to do. I feel it's easier to hang out with the crowd that's partying and drinking every night by the crowd that's in the book studying every night trying to make rank. You know what I mean? And I don't pass judgment on anybody because everybody goes through their own phases. That's life. You're going to go through life as it comes to you, as is necessary to how you want to focus and learn or whatever. But when you start coming out of those hazy days, I should say, of figuring out and then trying to be, you know what, I'm going to actually start putting some effort in. Ultimately, it does become better when you make that decision to actually start giving effort towards your job and learning it and being better and all it. It helps you get out of those hazy days a lot faster. And I'm not going to say dark days, but I am going to say hazy.
Dark days.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when you look at it,
Yeah.
I was in certain situations, as it comes, as time comes with it, right? And you said that's what it is. It's time. Some people don't know what effort is. Me, I knew what effort was because my dad always pushed me to do things and study. My mom did the same thing as well. She wanted me to study. When it came to actually doing hands-on things, my dad had that covered. If you're going to do a job, you do it right the first time. That was always the same. If you're going to do something for someone, you're always going to put your best foot forward. You're going to put the maximum effort in. Because for you, as he would always say, you're a man. Your word is your bond. Your work proves, your work ethic, if nothing else, proves who you are.
Yeah.
And coming from a background like that and watching my dad do these jobs or always 110% put his best foot forward, even if he didn't know what he was doing, he took the time. And this was not the super digital age where, hey, we got our phones, we can look it up on Google type stuff. He would still have to look in books, look in the book, test it out one time, and go for it. That's the effort I came from. That's the effort I learned. Do I still have 20 years later, do I still have that want and drive and that effort that he instilled in me? Yeah, I do. I do. Is it on the level of that it could be? Nah, it's not. I'm not going to even lie to you. And as we talked about earlier, evaluations, that's where evaluations come into play. And that's where a lot of people get their feelings hurt because they believe they put in all this effort and then that eval hits and it's, what's this? What's these words? These words didn't encompass what I did. And then when you realize and sit down and talk to somebody and you're trained to come in and explain, hey, you might have did all this stuff, but what did you do in your job? What did you do?
I guess
What did you do for the division?
Right, let's cut the BS, man. We're talking about the collateral queens or king. 100%. There are people who just swipe up collaterals and they'll work hard on their collaterals, but don't know diddly squat about their job or even, and then especially when they get put in a leadership position, it's, I mean, I guess it's only speaking from, I mean, you've been on bigger decks, but this is me speaking. I've been on a bigger deck too, but that was my first ship. So just speaking from the Minesweeper experience, and obviously you know this because how we met, there are cats who understand that if they swipe up certain collaterals on a suite, that they'll get what they want, right? And then they don't know diddly squat about their actual job and how to do it, and it blatantly shows. So then when they're all in their eval debrief, hyped about talking about their collateral, and then the higher ups are like, well, what about your division? I didn't see you write any awards for your division, or I didn't see you nominate. You know what I'm saying? People still seem to forget. I think the best advice I ever got is shout out to, well, he's now a Master Chief, but shout out to my boy. He he told me once I made second, he said, your career's not about you anymore. And once I really took that to heart, life got life got easier in the Navy. Who's unfair? And not a lot of people know that. There are a lot of people who are still fully selfish all the way up to hell. I'm even going to say Master Chief at some point, but at the end of the day, yeah, I feel once you make second class and you make that mark where you're like, all right, I'm not going to get out the Navy, I'm going to stay in. Your career is not about you anymore. It's about your junior sailors and your peers across from you. So, and the more effort you give to them, the better off you look. Anyway, I hate when you hear those guys, well, I'm not going to be qualified because it's going to make such and such look good, but such and such is willing to take the time to qualify you. So what does it matter? You know what I mean?
I had to learn because at certain points in my career, I didn't understand the hierarchy of how it worked from being, the worker to the work session to the LPO. So why am I doing all the work and y'all are getting the credit for the things that I'm doing? But I got further up in rank and better understanding and pulled this out about my mentors and explained to me how certain things worked. And I was, oh, okay, that makes sense. Did I didn't know? But when I started understanding that part that you talked about take care of the people and helping your peers around you be better, it made the job easier.
All right.
That's the biggest thing that most people truly don't understand. If you get the people around you to be better, everything will work clockwork because everybody will be on time. Everybody be on the same page. It almost be a hive mind type situation, but people will still have their old thoughts.
Yeah. It's crazy because when we first met, there was somebody, I don't know if you remember, but there was somebody on the boat who was the deck LPO at the time. And I specifically remember a comment he had made. And we were down in sweep gear. This is when I was kind of still in the armory, and old Rastaman was still in and out from one ship to another.
Yeah.
But he said something, Rastaman was down there and he said something to me. And because I was looking at qualifications, like, why? Like, it was like, okay, this dude's been here a year, this dude's been here. I said, I asked him, I said, why aren't all these people qualified in this, and that? And he was like, well, if everybody's qualified in everything, all their evals will look the same. And I was, what? Me and Rasta just looked at each other. Was that I don't even make sense. How does that? Our qualifications have nothing to do with how their eval performance. Now, in a sense, yes, but I'm wondering why I can't get a watch bill filled because not enough people are qualified. Because you think that equates to how their performance is.
But even then, that person that we're talking about, they never really and truly wanted to put the effort into actually doing their job. They were more caring about themselves at the end of it.
Well, at the time, you know how that whole esteem of group of leaders we had before we got to take over was built. So, which is very ignorant based. So, and the way I see it now, it's not trying to be spiteful, but look at them and look at us. You know what I mean?
I'm not trying to bring any negativity. I'm just here for the peace.
No, I feel you. I'm not trying to bring any negative. It is what it is, and we moved on there.
You got to remember this too. We got to bring the effort of realizing that we also had a part to play in those situations.
No, we did. I'm not going to say we
part to play in those situations.
I mean, we kind of
some people viewed us and how some things played out. And a lot of things, if we would have took the effort that we're taking now, a lot of things could have probably played out better than what they did. But what
I personally
learning experience.
I personally think how we, in my opinion, how we had to wait. You know what I'm saying? We had to wait but it is what it is. Sometimes it's just how things have to play out. So, but
waiting made us better.
But that too, and I think that also made us, once we were in our positions, gave us the power to give more effort to our guys. All right, now we can freaking go full house and do a round turn on everything. So, which we did. So, but anywho, pass all that. But yeah, effort, when it comes to effort, especially when it comes to yourself, if you can, the thing I've learned as a result, the more effort you give into to yourself, which is self-love in a sense, the more effort you're willing to give out to everybody else, right? It obviously within extent, you don't want to overextend yourself and get the whole burnout, but you gotta, sometimes you just gotta put the gas to the pedal, bro. I put the pedal to the gas. You know what I mean? Whatever that the term, you know, I was trying to say. You know, and
Water car.
and
Because I put the gas on the pedal.
yeah, you know,
Gas.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
Put the wrong.
but it goes back to that. It goes back to the old saying I learned from one of my old football coaches. Yeah, you know, you're only as good as the man or the woman that's in the mirror. So it's, hey man, I'm just saying. Well, I specifically remember he gave everybody on the football team a little magnetic mirror, and on the bottom of the quote was it was said, "Oh, you're always good as the man in the mirror." But I say man and woman because I obviously are the crowd. But yeah, it's the truth, man. You got to look at yourself. You got to tell yourself the truth. You got to tell yourself. You're going to tell yourself the effort, everything, and it's crazy. Everything you can do, just everything in life is a choice. Everything in life is effort too. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have effort to make the better choices. You got to give yourself you know what I mean? And it's crazy how all these words tie together, ultimately deciphering on how your life is once you start making those positive mental choices to be better, you know? So I hope that our effort towards what we're trying to do, I think it's going to pay. Well, I hope, I know it's going to pay off. And it's kind of a beautiful thing how this fruition years ago, us talking about it. Now we started last year, into last year, moving into 2020. We got a whole year to do this. So I hope y'all are come along for the journey and watch us grow. You know what I mean? And grow with us and learn it.
Every episode get better and better.
Better.
All the crazy. Sometimes.
Yeah.
The lighting is getting better and better.
It's man, that as you go utility bill.
Got my hamster running on a wheel.
As you pedal your bike right there, right now to get the lights.
Yeah. I fed it today. That's why the lights are so bright.
Yeah. I'm saying so. But no, man, what is right now? What is one of your main goals you're trying to give the most effort to?
The biggest thing right now is, you said cutting. It's cutting season, legitimately. It is 110% cutting season to get ready and prepare for the next place. Because the next place is going to take a lot of energy to get back into it, especially being in the rank that I'm in now. I don't have that overhead anymore. I did as a first class. I had somebody who could be, hey, hey, tone it down a little bit.
Well, hopefully your new peers will be, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you need to check yourself, you know?
Yeah, I'll have that. But I'm talking about,
at the end of the day,
I've said I was healed as a first class, but I always had somebody standing behind me. But now I'm going to be that person standing behind that first class, backing them up.
Yeah. Yeah, the maybe 100%. Definitely has gone back to the old ways. So, which is good. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's good. So, you also know you got me here, so we also check each other. So, it's not you alone in this too, my boy. So,
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about being alone and stuff as of such. There's no real concern. I just want to get back down to a good, solid, just stay in the 200s, but on the low end this time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what yet, because I got to keep it with the strength and stuff there. which is the funniest thing ever. But it's a learning lesson with working out with other people. Sometimes it's a learning lesson. But what about you? What you got planned? What's one of the main things you got planned that you
So, so the main,
on the podcast outside of working on the store and pushing that? What personal goal for yourself and your family do you got planned?
specifically for my family, I need to learn Spanish. I bought a book and I got to study and I need to learn Spanish. And I think the book that I just purchased is it makes sense to me. And I'm trying to give myself at least 10 to 20 minutes a day to look in this book. It says you can learn Spanish in 60 days. It's basically using common phrases that you would hear in common talk and not learning Spanish in the traditional proper way to speak, because that's not how people learn Spanish. They learn very in a slang. So it's more slang based, but that's one of my main goals. And then obviously cutting the weight again and getting back down to a healthier weight. But that's my main goal is learning Spanish. And then so that way Josiah can be more bilingual. And I want to learn too myself. I know we're going to take more trips to Mexico and stuff that. So it'll help out a lot. And I always have to go, hey, yo, Yvette, hey, what's that mother? I know a little bit, but I don't know enough. Yeah.
I feel they talk.
I say un poquito español, you know what I'm saying? But I know the common stuff. Everybody else probably knows it, since I know probably a little bit more. So, but that's what I'm saying. Más o menos. Yeah, y tú? I see that. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the goal. So I'm putting a lot of effort towards that. But what if everybody could comment down below? What's your goal for the year that you're putting the most effort into for yourself? Leave a comment and we will respond and maybe pull somebody's comment up on our next podcast. So, but yeah, man, I think that's a wrap for this episode.
Here's your effort tired. That's what you're saying.
My effort is tired. I mean,
I had to go get a Scully today because the head is.
Hey man, it's still getting cold out here. It's been in the 40s in the morning, man. It's a little chilly. Got a wind blast. I seen geese flying down south. You know,
geese flying down south is wild.
Saying, but yeah, man. I hope everybody have a good one. It's your boy Willie Creative and Regie the Tech on the other end. Y'all have a blessed one, man.
Always just bring the effort. Garbage Gills out.
Peace.